Dante V8, and with me as always are my two co-hosts, Positive Q and D22. D, how are you today?
I'm doing good, man. Excited for episode 11 of the ZarCast. And yeah, it's a lucky number 11, half of 22. 22 is a super duper lucky number. So yeah, I'm looking forward to some good things today.
But okay, well, what? So a lucky number just for you? Like that's your thing, or is this like a thing? Like
I
22 known
guess
to be a
I
lucky
guess
number?
for me,
Oh,
but
okay.
I've heard a lot of people too, like they like 22 or number 2 or number 11. Number 11 is a lucky number too. This is that's my opinion, especially because it's half of 22. It just makes sense.
That it makes sense. It makes some kind of sense, I guess. Yeah. But no, I have 8 is my number. That's why that's in everything that I have. So
Okay, nice.
actually my wife Laura's number too, so that's kind of cool.
Boom.
And Mr. Positive Q, how are you today?
I am great. How is everybody doing? Good to be back home with the tribe. A lot of things going on in our world, some good, some bear market, but we're going to talk about them all today.
Yeah, we are. All right, so let's get into it with our guess the guest segment, because we get to that comes up really quickly. So okay, I have a few here. Number one, this guest probably has a really, really excellent handicap. This guest is a local. This guest is a member of the Diamond Club of Tribe Quokka. And among this guest's associates, he is sort of the Charlie Brown of the group. Everything ends up getting blamed on this individual. So those are your clues.
Everything ends up getting blamed.
He's a good handicap, so he's a golfer. He's a local.
Oh, he's a local. So yeah, that I mean,
like, because I originally thought as soon as you said handicap, I know I see Ranger posting pictures that he's.
Yeah, I thought Ranger that because of the diamond as well.
Yeah.
But he's not local. I know that for a fact. Okay.
I got a diamond. I got local.
Plays golf.
I know one, but I guarantee he's never been on Discord. There's no way Dante could have gotten a hold of him.
And he owns a diamond. Man,
I don't know if he. Yeah, I don't know if he plays golf, but I'm gonna. Dave, you want me to go first? Or you want to go first? I know last time I used to guess first all the time, and you got upset. So do you want to
go? Sure, I can go. I mean, the only one I know that he may play golf is Mello, that has a diamond and that's local. I mean, those are the two that I know for a fact, diamond and local. So I'm gonna go with Mello.
That was my guess. Damn you.
Well, thanks. Now you know how I feel every single episode.
Now, for the past 6 weeks, how you?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, all right.
Take that,
who
PQ.
am I gonna go with? Who am I gonna go with? Has a diamond, is local, plays golf. I'll say his name. He's not even on Discord. I don't even think he has a logo. I'd have to give his real name.
No, this person is on Discord.
Definitely on Discord with us. All right.
Definitely on, yeah.
I got nobody. I'm going with Dick Doofus. I got nobody.
I thought Dick Doofus too, because
he just got a diamond. I know he's a good golfer, and he's
yeah.
All right.
Yeah, no, that's a good guess because it actually is a founder.
Oh,
but it's not Doc. It is Professor Rumpus.
Oh,
nice. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know Rumpus had a diamond.
Yeah, he does. He has actually it was it was an OQ mag cover. He's got the surfer
it's the
hair.
surfer one.
Yeah, he's got that surfer diamond.
I forgot about that. God, I saw him at a dinner a week ago. I didn't even think of that, and I knew he golfed because he was coming from the club when I saw him.
Yeah.
All right. My bad.
And apparently, it's we'll get into it with him, but it's apparently like a running joke among the founders that like anything goes wrong, they all just kind of yell at Rumpus, like Charlie Brown, it's all your fault. he gets the heat. So, yeah. So I have a great story. I got a great story, of Rumpus story. Dave knows it. So, I talked to Rumpus ahead of time about it. So we'll get into that when he gets on. Okay. So legends. The three of us were all, very, very fortunate to be able to be named ambassadors and pick our legend that we were given as thank you by the founders. So, what were your thoughts on that night and how that all went down? And to me, that was like one of the most fun moments of this whole thing. I mean, it was obviously awesome because I'm getting a legend and I get to pick it. But I just thought the whole process, I was cracking up, I was clapping. It was like nerve wracking, but also like really, really exciting. So yeah, what were your thoughts on that, D?
Dude, yeah, I really enjoyed, first of all, just the excitement, like the way they did it, spinning the wheel. I love that it was a raffle, so like it was anyone's chance to pick, one they like you actually got a choice. Like that was pretty cool because it could have been just an airdrop and it was a random one, but it was random because it was a raffle, but we were able to pick in whatever order our raffle number came out. So yeah, it was super exciting. It was cool to see like all these people on Zoom, which you usually just see their username on Discord. So that was cool. And honestly, the next day I was thinking about it and I was like, man, I just, what I realized was our founders are gonna make sure that like if you're holding Quokka's Genesis, like there's gonna be a lot of value. Like they're gonna keep adding value to the holders. Like like it was very evident that one of the things that they want to be intentional about is that the holders get extra value. And this is a prime example. Like I think the people that were chosen for this airdrop are the ones that most make noise promoting Tribe Quokka and are holding a decent amount of Quokkas and just doing all the things to help grow this project. And yeah, it's cool to be rewarded. It was awesome.
Yeah, it was really fun. So we knew there was 30 ambassadors selected, and we knew who we were, and then we knew the 50 legends that we got to choose from. We didn't get to see pictures, we just knew names. And so then that Monday night we were all on a Zoom. Most of us were on a Zoom. I think only maybe two people weren't there. But yeah, and then they showed the pictures. So maybe some of you, like I prepped, so I had like my list ranked in order of who I wanted. And then so then they showed the pictures, and then some of my choices moved up and down accordingly. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. Brian or PQ, what you think?
I had a great time with it. I thought the live auction format was excellent. I think it brought a lot of, basically it put fantasy football and legend drawing together.
Yeah.
That we had the auction. It was a good time. And it was nice to see the people that everybody works hard for Tribe Quokka in their own way. Everybody tries to do something to contribute, even if their contribution is just buying a Quokka. They're part of the community and everybody appreciates it. But there is people that go above and beyond to help and do, and not just the three of us on this call. There's 27 others that were selected for that. And to get the reward of picking your own legend, I thought was an excellent thank you for what we do. Nobody asked for money, nobody asked for anything, nobody asked for favors, nothing. And for the founders to say, you know what, we're going to recognize these people, I thought was an excellent idea, and I was happy to have it. I really am. I got lucky. I got to draw second, and everybody knows that I like unique things that I think will hold value over others. So I got the pumpkin head legend that, really there's nothing in the collection that does now or will ever look like that.
No,
So
absolutely. Yeah. When that one came on the screen, when they first brought that up, there was like almost a gasp you know, in the group when everybody saw it. They were like, whoa, like it does so different and so it's just cool. It just has a really cool vibe to it. It's almost a
Yeah.
little scary. You know, we don't really have anything like that. Even the ones that are supposed to be scary are more just like cool, but this one has some weird kind of energy to it. So yeah, you got a great pick there.
And it was perfect for the time of year. In fact, I have to switch my PFP to it in a day.
Oh
So,
yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
On that. All right, yeah. So now we move on to the legends. Well, we had the airdrop, which none of us were eligible for that. And then that was also really nice because then people were posting their, you know, you get to see the excitement in people when they start putting them up there and they're freaking out that they got them. I saw a couple really cool pictures of, you know, some really happy community members, which is awesome. And then we move on to the auction phase. So the next 50 are up there, and there's some really, is it 50?
yes.
Yeah. For some reason it doesn't feel like that, but yeah. And there's some awesome ones in there. So I'm not going to ask you who you got your eye on or anything, but you know, are you planning on bidding, or you know, do you want to reveal any bidding strategy, or are you just going to keep all that quiet?
I'm more than happy to talk about it. I will say that I've just pulled it up again. So I went through this list of legends the other day, and there's some really cool ones in here. There really is. I mean, they're unique. They're like, you know, and there's some ones that people that follow these things will really like. So here's a good example, like Dave Portnoy from Barstool Sports. You know, there's a lot of Lord of the Rings fan, including me. Like you got Gandalf in there, Iron Man for all the Marvel fans. Like there's some really cool things. But anyway, when we talk about bidding strategy, um, nobody's gonna like to hear this, but I don't believe any auction should be bid on until its last day.
Yeah.
There's no sense. All you're doing is giving away your hand. It's like flipping over one of your cards in blackjack. So I think that, you know, you should go through them. You should decide what you like. You shouldn't spread out your money. Find one you like and make sure you win it. But if that's what you want to do, I would not start placing cash until the last day. You know, Jason Kelsey, the Mummers outfit, that's amazing. So there's a lot of great ones in here that, you know, I think deserve bids, and I probably will as well. And you know, as I go through, I'm just like, I'm interested in a bunch.
Yeah.
But if you're gonna bid, it's just my advice. I wouldn't do it till the last day. And anybody who can snag the Fanatic for what is hopefully a World Series run, all good.
Yeah, that's yeah.
Yeah, I'm on the same page as Positive Q. Like, okay, yeah, I'm not gonna say which ones I like because just like Positive Q said, you know, I don't want to give up my hand, but I would do the same. I would wait till the last day. I would see what's available. I know last bidding one. I'm not really into pop culture. I'm not a super sport fan. Like and it really sounds like I'm a boring dude, and I guess in a sense I am. But I don't follow many of these characters, so like there's not an emotional attachment. So I would say too, like it depends on what you're looking for. Like for me, it's a pure like I mean, there's some I like. Don't get me wrong. I see some that I like just because of the art, but it's more purely an investment. So I'm looking at value. I'm looking at what would be marketable, and then I have my top 2 or 3. But then I also have like a strategy of like, man, a legend is a legend. So like there's some that may not have any bids or like real small bids. So you can have a strategy. I suggest having a strategy like save all your ETH for the one you want. But if you realize that someone outbid you and you don't have enough ETH for that one, then, you know, try to get lucky with one that maybe will not be that expensive. Because I mean, as the legends keep coming out, it's going to be a total of 500, and you can only pair it with a Genesis. And so the fact, number one, that the Genesis Quokkas are running out, like there's not going to be much unparented Genesis Quokkas, right? So like having one legend is valuable because now you just have to get one Genesis to be able to pair it, but also you get to pick the fur. That's where I think, because we still don't know what the value of the 1 out of 1 kids is going to be, let alone if it's a real fancy fur. But like just the fact that it's going to be rare because it's a 1 out of 1, I think that's going to be valuable. So the legends, just because of that, I mean, any legend would hold value. At least their kids will. And then also, yeah, you just never know if they're going to run out of like there's not going to be many to pair at the end. Like not all the legends will get paired. Let's put it that way. So it's going to be nice to have a legend and to be able to pair it at some point, because they're going to run out of Genesis, and then you're not going to have any Quokka Genesis to pair with your legends. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree with you. And by the way, you'd spoken about pop culture. I was looking through the winning bids. So there's the two highest right now are 0.3 current winning bid and 0.5 current winning bid, both pop culture icons. So you got Harry Potter at 0.3. And one you can't even tell it's a Quokka other than the fact we know the collection is the Iron Quokka, the Iron Man, is currently at half an ETH.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Iron Man one is right up there with the pumpkin head one, because it's like, yeah, it's completely encased in armor.
Yeah.
And it just looks really
well,
cool.
Well, that's the thing. Nothing will ever look like that.
And dude, like, just so you understand how bad I'm at, like how, like I can honestly probably name, I mean, max 10 of these, like, of who they are. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, like it's that bad.
Yeah.
Is that The Rock, like the 179?
Hold on.
He has like a big Coors Light on his
179. No, that's Steve Austin.
Yeah, Stone Cold
I don't
Steve
even
Austin.
know who Steve Austin
Remember
is.
when we first started the community and Kenny had the GIFs of everybody getting slammed all the time?
Yeah.
Remember the guy doing the slamming was Steve Austin. Yes.
Okay, it's a wrestler. Yeah.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Gotcha. Okay.
That was great. That after I even said Steve Austin, you still had no idea who that was. That was awesome. Good job, Dave.
So I'm like, so at this point, I'm just looking for value. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I'm gonna have to call you guys and be like, hey, what do you think people will like? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, yeah, and then you kind of. I'm sorry. Go ahead, PQ.
Oh no, I was just saying there's some real icons in here, like Ric Flair, Pennywise from It. Like I'm not a big fan of, Pokemon, but like the Pikachu one, like those kind of things.
Yeah.
There's some really cool ones in here.
Yeah.
The only one I and I'm not. It's not that I'm not a fan of the art, but the one of Derek Jeter, like whatever, he's Derek Jeter. I'm not a Yankees fan.
Who's the one with the pizza in the mouth?
That's Dave Portnoy.
Okay.
From Barstool Sports is a website. Yeah.
I've heard a lot of. Yeah, no, I've heard of.
He does.
I know Barstool.
Yeah, he does pizza reviews,
nice.
And it's an ironic catchphrase: is one bite, everybody knows the rules.
Yeah. Okay.
But then he ends up taking like 17 bites. That's the whole thing.
Yeah.
But they've been trying to get Dave into the project for a while. I know he sponsors, or their company sponsors some things, but he got burned from what I saw pretty bad on SafeMoon, and is kind of staying away from all crypto investments altogether. But
that makes sense. Yeah.
But the legends are going to be exciting. I'm going to watch, and if anybody wants to talk about them, I mean, I think all the legends, none of them ever sell. I mean, these are collector's items for people.
Yeah, that's true. They don't sell. I honestly like them for the pairing. And listen, I do believe that at some point that they will gain traction and like they will be sales. But yeah, I agree. Do you have one at least that you really want, PQ and Dante?
I do have some I'm looking at, because the other thing is you want them to be cool, but this is what I'll say. Is you want them to be cool, but if you're going to pair them, all right, so I'm going to take one that I know I'm not going to bid on. Like, because I've already talked about it here. So like the Iron Man, right? So I'm not going to bid on the Iron Man, although I think it's really cool. I might. Let me just say I might. But if you're a fan of like Marvel comics, then there's also like there's Iron Heart, which is like a younger version of Iron Man, like a different kid.
Yeah,
there's
I get
his daughter, which also did this. So like if your goal is to parent them, think what would look good as a kid as well.
True. Yeah.
So like if you're looking at it like
what about 183? Is that Tupac or who is that? 183.
183 is Tupac, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, see, I can get down with Tupac,
Yeah.
Tupac is not my favorite, but I will bet on Tupac. Let it be known.
Yeah.
I mean, I already got 50 cent.
Yeah. So when I got my the legend that I selected was Yarmir Yager, and like I'm a big hockey guy. And actually, he played on the Rangers, which is my favorite team. And you know, so that I know, yeah, boo. But yeah, so that was when I saw he was in there, I was like, all right, so there's only one other hockey guy in this, and that's Wayne Gretzky. And he's already been taken. Hopefully there's more in the future. But I was like, I can't, pass up the chance to get this one. I actually still had him third on my list. I thought Superman would be, a really good one to take number one, if I got that pick, because, Superman. So I thought that was a pretty iconic one. And then I love Fight Club. So the Tyler Durden one, I think, is so awesome. He was my number two, and they were both gone by the time I got.
That was actually my number two as well. I almost did it. I just like the uniqueness of Pumpkinhead, but I almost did Tyler Durden instead because I'm a big fan of that as well.
Yeah, well, you did me a favor with Pumpkinhead because he was my 4.
Yeah.
Sight unseen, because my daughter loves that movie. So, and my son's a hockey player, so it was putting me in a spot, man. Because I had Yager at 3, and I had Pumpkin at 4, and I'm like, what am I gonna do?
Be like, sorry, honey, Brian took him. I don't know what to tell you.
Yes. So that made it a pretty easy choice for me. But even still, like, it was still not an easy choice, because I think there was a couple Ninja Turtles out that were still on the board at the time I picked, which they're all awesome. I actually think the person who got the Crocodile Dundee one is very lucky, because I think that was just a really good looking one. Like, it just looks cool.
I agree with you. And like, I got in some trouble from my nephew for picking the Pumpkinhead over one of the Ninja Turtles, but I had to explain to him, like, so do you have some extra East somewhere I don't know about? Because if you buy one, you got to collect all 4, right?
True.
I agree. Yeah, you said that during the thing. Like, same with the Stooges.
The Stooges or the Beatles, I think they're great ideas, but I know my obsessive compulsive personality, and if I got one that was part of a collection, then I would just spend the rest of my days spending way too much money to try and get the others.
Yeah, we've seen that. We've seen that.
And they would see me coming. Like, I might be able to get the first one on the cheap, but the second, third, and fourth, they'll probably start a chat group seeing how much they can rip me off from there.
Yeah.
So,
I'm actually, you know what? I'm actually glad, like, I never sold you my diamond PQ, because, like, the market tanked, and like, I would feel, and listen, like, I still feel that you got, it's more value than what you bought it for, but, like, you were going aggressive after those diamonds, man. You know what I mean? You wanted it. Yeah,
this is true, but I now have Diamond Baby Ruth.
Yeah,
so,
I mean, that was
what
just
are you
worth it
talk
right
about
there.
here?
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, like, if you just look at the Genesis, I'm like, dude, I'm glad, because it was a hefty price, and then the floor drops a little bit, and you don't want to, like, have your friend feel uncomfortable with the deal.
No, I would have been fine. Like, I make a deal.
Yeah.
But no, I was happy where I got it from. But I'm also not at all concerned about the market, to be honest.
Yeah.
I work in mortgages, so you don't need to tell me about the shit show that the mortgages or the market is.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
no, I'm just waiting for everything to rebound. Mortgages and Quokkas. Where, like, when that comes back, oh, Brian's gonna be living big. I'm gonna have a yacht.
I know. Yeah.
So-
We're gonna, It's gonna be good.
All right. So moving on from the Legends collection to a new collection. It's a separate from official Tribe Quokka Haka Labs collection. It's a collection that's being created by one of the members, and that's one of the things that I know Doc and the other founders are very much encouraging the tribe to do. If you have some kind of an idea, if you have something that you're creating, they are happy to see you go for it and put it out there. And one of our good friends, a fellow ambassador, Doughboy, has started his own new collection called Kids Cards. And Dee, why don't you explain that, since you have a bunch? You want to tell us what that's about?
Yeah, absolutely, man. So it's super interesting what Doughboy came up with. Shout out to him, by the way. So Doughboy and King of Mars. Oh, not King of Mars. Sorry, Ghost of Tsushima. They're like meme kings. Like they're always adding graphics to their. I should say David Savage too, or Saving David. He
Mhm.
also he's been just recently crushing it with that. But anyway, it started with that, and then I think Doughboy just, I guess he figured out how to make it a collection, and he put the name Kids Cards. And so basically, what it is he'll charge you 10, $20, and you can send him the picture of your NFT of the Quokka Kids collection, and he'll come up with a name, and he'll come up with some graphics that look cool behind your Quokka kid, and then yeah, it's like a playing card, but it's an NFT. So like in my mind, this is great because listen, let's be honest. I mean, what are the chances the kid cards collection is going to take off and you'll make money off of the NFT? Probably, none, not none, but slim. Let's put it that way. Like, it's hard to get an NFT project off the ground, but just the fact that these cards now I can use them to promote Tribe Quokka Kids, and it's super cool graphics that I myself can never make. I mean, it's awesome. He put some creative juice into it. Now I can use them on my Twitter. And the bonus is it's an actual NFT. So even if I can never sell it, I mean, it looks real cool in my wallet. You know what I mean? And anyone that comes into my wallet, now they're going to see, like, maybe they'll want to buy my Quokka because my kids' cards look freaking awesome and they like how that one looks. And then they'll buy my actual NFT from the Tribe Kids collection. So anyway, I think it was a very creative way of him making a little bit of money on the side and also helping promote the tribe. And hey, if the project takes off and it starts selling on OpenSea, I mean, great, that would be awesome. And if not, we have free marketing tools for life, to use and promote our Quokkas. So it's a win-win. I love what he's doing. I wish more people would just start hustling and making stuff happen, man, because that's how we build.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, you know what I like about it too is you can use it as sort of like leverage too in a deal. If you and I are making a trade, and the one you want from me might be a little bit more rare or valuable, and you want to say like, hey, look, I also have the card, that
Oh, dude, that's a real good point. Yeah, it goes with
yeah,
the add-on. Yeah.
yeah, it's like a little bit of just a little sweetener that someone might be like, oh, well, all right, that card's cool.
Dude,
And
I love it. I love it. I'm getting a kid's card for every one of my kids. Every time someone wants one of mine, I'm like, hey, it comes with a kid card, baby. Come on. That's
yeah,
what
see, that's the
the
way.
point that is, baby. Come on.
That's that's the way to do it. Yeah. So yeah, I sent him a few of my pictures, so he's been working on them a little bit. So yeah, I'll see
Yo,
what happens.
guys, I got a question. Is it weird that I just like I enjoy buying and selling?
Well, no, it's not weird. It's just
No,
a problem.
it's the whole reason why we have this podcast, Dave.
Yeah.
So it's
Dude,
actually it's the point of this whole thing,
I
actually.
know, I know, I know. It's just fun, right? Like it's
Yeah.
just fun, the art of the deal, like negotiating, buying something, trying to sell it for more. Like it's like an adventure.
Yeah, no, it is fun. It's fun, especially when both parties end up happier than when it's over.
Yeah,
That's what it's
yeah,
really.
yeah. And I mean, when you sell it for a profit too, let's be honest, you know.
Well, yes, yeah. All right. Well, I see our guest has signed on. PQ, should we bring him in? Is he ready to go?
He looks ready to go. He's got a very professional LinkedIn headshot there. So
Oh,
that is
boy.
different than his normal PFP I'm used to seeing. And you can pull him up anytime.
All right. So it's time to bring our guest on, and we'd like to welcome Professor Rumpus to the show.
What's up, guys? I am delighted to be here, just listening in on some of the things you've been saying. It's just, it always gives me the chills when people talk about, what they're doing, what they like to buy, other ideas, all that stuff. So, it's an honor to be here.
Yo,
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
real quick, I wish our listeners, our audience can see the picture I'm looking at right now, man. I honestly, I feel like I'm in CNN, having this big business discussion about the world economy. Yeah, you look sharp there, Mr. Rumpus.
I'll just say this with all due respect. I saw Kurt out at a local establishment last week, and I think we may be getting catfished a little bit with that picture. Just throwing that out there.
So I took down the picture because I use Zoom.
Look at that. Yo, your head is shining and everything, bro. It's like, wow, you're bringing good news. You know what I mean?
I tried to take down the picture because I use Zoom for my day job and all that. But obviously, if you guys can still see it, so I'm not hiding anything.
Yeah, I am making a meme, a sales bot meme. I'm gonna make a request that every time a Quokka sells, we get to see the Chef X or the Rumpus. Rumpus picture. I'm messing with you, man. No, it looks sharp, man. That's a nice suit. Seriously.
Well, thank you. That was yes, I have. I've aged a little bit. It's a couple of years old when I had a little bit of hair, but yes, I'm definitely changed a tad since that was taken.
Nice.
It's all good, buddy. We appreciate you coming on. It's good to finally talk to you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. So I want to, I just felt bad having you just sit there. So we're going to jump over to the PQ OpenSea report. And,
I said I can actually move mine next week. We're fine. Let's get Kurt on.
Okay.
And get him going. You can move mine the next week. And because I have a 20-minute presentation on the analytics behind that they're now showing on OpenSea. So unless we want to have a 2-hour podcast, let's get Kirk going there.
All right, sounds good. All right, so before we start, I talked to Rumpus about this beforehand. So we went to the same high school. He was a couple of years ahead of me, and we had gym class together. And we're talking 1989 turning into 1990, and different times. So one of the things that you could choose, because they let you pick what sport you wanted to play or activity you wanted to do. So we had this, we had street hockey, and they gave you all the equipment, and they picked their teams, and that was your team, each day. And the gym teacher was actually our football coach. So Rumpus was a varsity stud, and I was like, just like a freshman, water boy. And so I knew who he was. He had no idea who I was, but the gym teacher definitely knew who he was, because it was the varsity coach. So there's a couple of football guys in there. And this was, the football coach liked aggression. He liked rough stuff. And it was like anything goes. So, once you started mixing it up a little bit, kids would fight. Like sticks would come down, and we did have to wear a cage, but punches were thrown. And it just so happened that I played defense, and I played a lot of hockey, and I played a very rough style. Rumpus is a competitor. He's an athlete. So he played an aggressive style, and, we didn't really know each other, but it came to it, and our sticks were thrown down, and the two of us started throwing bombs at each other. So I actually, I fought Professor Rumpus back in 1989. So I had to remind him of that story.
Wow.
I have to ask at this point, how did this fight end up?
Oh, I beat the brakes off of him.
Oh, okay.
It was awful.
I think we need to get his opinion on that.
No, the nurse had to be called. I think, she was pushing the wheelchair and everything. Like, it was
Wow.
bad.
All right. I am sorry, Rump, that we have brought you on here now to make fun of your picture and say you got beat up. If you'd like to do another podcast.
No, it absolutely. Yeah, no, it did not go that way at all.
No, let's be honest. The other founders sent us a little bit of ETH, and they said, just make sure you make fun of Rumpus. So we're just we're meeting our end of the deal, man. That's all.
Yeah, I mean, I do remember that. And Dante, I remember you bringing that up to me at the In Real Life event, which just kind of sparked all those memories. So absolutely on the hockey, absolutely on the aggressiveness. I played hockey back then for forever as well. And, it was just fun. But I think the way it ended up is once punches were thrown, you were kind of escorted to the principal's office, and we had to sit next to each other and kind of laugh it off for the next 10, 15 minutes until we got called to the
Nice.
principal's office.
Yeah, it was great. And then of course I was definitely a little terrified going out to football practice, knowing that maybe he might not have been over it, but it was all good.
Yeah.
Nice. That's so
Yeah.
funny, man. That's awesome.
Yeah,
Small world. That's the way I look at it. It's a small world.
yes, for sure. All right, so tell us a little bit about how did it come about that you became one of the founders of Tribe Quokka? Who approached you with the idea, like in the early days, and like what was your original reaction? Had you heard of NFTs and all that before, or was this just all crazy?
Yeah, it's a combination of everything, and that's such a loaded question. But I'm sure you've heard this story multiple times by different founders. But what I'll do is I'll answer from my perspective. And I think we all know it was Dick's idea. Everyone knows that. Just kind of a backstory. I've known Dick or Brett, Doofus, whatever you want to call him, I've known him for 30 years. We've partied together, we've traveled together. I've known his wife forever. He knows my wife forever. His kids live with me for a little bit. His son is my son's best friend and vice versa. So, and Brett and I, we've always had these interesting conversations about, I don't know if we call them futuristic things or, whether it's string theory or simulation hypothesis, basically complete off the wall topics that most people don't talk about. And I remember we were in Winter Park, Colorado, my wife and myself and his wife and himself. And he brings this up. This is probably now 18 months ago. And we're talking about this. And he brought up the conversation about NFTs and this and that. And I was like, I knew nothing about it. I was truly a newbie. But, when you see Brett's passion is conviction. So what I did is start doing a little more research into this. And and the more I researched it, the more I looked at what he was trying to build, what he was trying to create. It was just awesome. It wasn't about us. It was about other people. It was about building a community. And if you think about NFTs, whether it's GACs, Bored Apes, Mutant Apes, whatever it may be, it's a community. And I think that's what impressed me the most. And truly why I wanted to do this is help them build something great.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. The passion of all the founders is very evident. So what did they tell you, your role would be, or did you say, hey, this is what I can do? How did you get your role?
Yeah, it's funny. I think roles just morphed. When we all started this, again, if I look at how Brett built the team, call them the founders of the team that working for all you guys, is, he approached different people that brought something different to the dichotomy of the founders, whether it's myself, whether it's Broba from the art perspective, Chef, who's worked in Web3 forever, Cobblepot, who has an IT company. We all bring something different, but not only different, we all bring different thoughts and ideas. Like anything, one person with an idea is great, but what makes that idea much greater is getting input and feedback. So, he built this team to just get a good, well-rounded perspective on anything. When it comes to, I guess to get to your question on the roles, no one really had specific roles. We started to define them very loosely in the early days, but if I look at that, we all help each other out. It is truly a team environment. Yes, some people are more focused on other things than the rest of the people, but at the end of the day, everybody needs help. So, maybe Chef's working on something, he can reach out to me, or Cobblepot or Brett's reaching out. It's reaching out to the individuals, and that's how it just morphed. So, if I look at my role, I would say people call me the operator. What that means, I'm not really sure yet, but it's basically I do anything that can fill the gap on things that either people don't have enough time in the day to do it, or someone needs help. You just need a second set of eyes. I love to live behind the scenes. I love making sure everything goes perfect, but we do everything as a team. And the goal is to help each other and divide and conquer.
Nice. Well, I mean, actually, the operator is probably the coolest name of all, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, I think that's a pretty awesome name.
I actually agree. I would change your Discord handle immediately.
To operator. I like Professor Rumpus, but if you look on the website and you look at the functional roles, my role, what they put in there is operator, and I just embraced it.
Yeah. So, well, speaking of Professor Rumpus, what does that name come from? What does that mean?
So this is a good story, and I actually love telling this story. So when we started this a while back, Brett came up with Dick Doofus, which I thought was great. And my youngest son, who's now a senior at Shawnee, so senior in high school, and I went to him like, hey, I need a cool name, Web3 name, and we started talking about it. So he comes to me the next day. I'm sitting in my home office, and he looks at me. He's like, Professor Rumpus, and I was like, well, what does that mean? He's like, I don't know, but it's your new Web3 name. And I looked at him like, I love it. So it became a blessing and a curse, because I do like the name. It's definitely stands out, but you can easily yell when something goes wrong, Rumpus, which I always get. So it's kind of a blessing and a curse.
Yeah. And so and Brett, or well, Doc in particular, has I guess sort of clung to that, right? So whenever that's sort of the running gag with the founders, whenever something goes wrong, he just kind of yells that at you, correct?
He does, and a lot of times it's in jest, and a lot of times it's in reality. So I take the good with the bad, but I think it's more become a play on words when someone yells Rumpus, because it is, when you think about it's a rump, then you're Rumpus, and so yeah, I take the all, but it's all in good, clean fun. But when Brett or anybody yells and screams or kicks or whatever it is, it really is to make everybody better. At the end of the day, look, we know we will get things wrong. This is we're in the infancy of what we're doing. People equate this to, it's the first inning of a baseball game. I equate this to, hey, we're still tailgating in the parking lot. We haven't even gone into the game yet. So, tying that back is, we know we're going to slip. We know we're going to stumble, but I always look at anything as you slip, it's a learning experience, and what you take with that forward. So when we talk about this, or when the yelling or Rumpus or whatever it is, it's really to make everybody better. But I'm fine taking the blame on most things as well.
So let's talk a little bit about Quokkas. You have, the very famous Diamond Surfer guy who graced the cover of OQ magazine at one point. Do you have any other favorite traits that you like to when you see him, or what do you try to get?
So I do. I mean, yeah, the Diamond Surfer, I actually purchased that the night of mint. Whoever minted that originally, sold it. Everybody can look up what it was sold for, but sold it, and I jumped on that because that diamond, I do love the diamond. I love the traits, the bling traits. So whether it's a diamond fur, the gold fur, I love the diamond grills, the gold grills. I love things that pop, even all the earrings that show up. So, I don't think there's any trait that I dislike. They just all, when you put them together and you see how it combines, it just really is cool. But if I had to pick one that my eye catches, it's all the bling stuff.
Oh, okay, that's cool. Yeah, I mean, how much would all of us like to go back to that very first day after mint all over again and scoop up some? Well, I think actually, D, you actually did that, didn't you, sir?
Wait, what's that?
Just scooping up all the ones that were for sale for like crazy prices right after.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's things got crazy right after we minted, dude. The volume went up. It was exciting. Especially, your the value of the ones you minted are going up, and then you get to start trading, and it was that was cool, man.
Yeah, for sure. So we just finished off with the Quokka Cup. So what were your impressions of the event? Do you have any like stories you want to share from that, and how did you do?
So I'll take the second question first. So in the Quokka Cup, I headed up Team Purple, and we were the first place loser. So
Okay.
as you can see, I always put a first place in there, but we were in second place, the first place loser. But we had a blast, man. I mean, anything from picking the teams to the events, it was exhausting. Thank God we got some breaks. Had some great weather, but my impressions, it was better than I had anticipated, or better than I expected. If I look at every in real life that we've done, and it's truly a team effort that puts these on. It's a ton of people working behind the scenes. We don't just do it ourselves. I mean, we look for experts that do this stuff. So any in real life event is always nerve wracking the day or the week before. This one was especially nerve wracking because when you go into these events, you want everything to be perfect. So a lot of times what I wind up doing is analyzing, okay, this would be perfect, but what could go wrong? Because it's the plan B or disaster recovery that's so important. Not everything always goes right. Not that it goes wrong, but if something's not going the way that you want to do, you just have to fix it quick enough that nobody else notices. And maybe I'm the only one that notices, or the other people that are running these things. But what I liked most about this event, what was so cool about this event, I would say outside of all the other events, is everyone that attended, just had a fantastic time.
Nice.
There was no agendas that anybody brought, whether, you had a board 8 team, we had GAC owners, we had people with diamond furs, gold furs, non or lower level tricks, whatever it is, nobody had an agenda. Everybody came there with a common theme. And that theme was to meet people and have fun. And again, that tying it back to why we started this NFT project. It's about the community. It's find people who share either common interest or uncommon interest, but it's people who want to experience new things, meet new people from all walks of life. And that's what was so awesome about this one.
Yeah, I've only ever seen a few of the videos and pictures so far, but yeah, you just see smiles ear to ear. Everybody looks like they're just having a great time. So yeah, I definitely do feel like I missed out not being able to go to this one. So you mentioned the picking of the teams. How did that work?
Yeah. So, and Doofus talked about this last night on the Spaces, but it was interesting. So we hired a gym teacher, but he's like a national gym teacher. He's an old, I guess no longer is retired, but he does these things with a group of people where they go around and they do these events and all these different events. So how we pick the team, I think the first pick, so all the founders, because there was 6 teams plus a board 8 team. So the board 8 team was already put aside. So all the 6 founders had to pick the team from all the audience. And I think the first pick was, okay, go grab a female, because we're all male founders. So go grab a female. We all grabbed females. Well, not literally grabbed. We gave them headbands.
Selected.
Yes, thank you. Selected. And then I think the next one was select somebody that's under 30. And then the next one was select somebody that's bald. It's just, so it was very cool, and everybody's screaming and jumping around and, pick. So, and it just worked out that way. And, all the teams kind of were equally matched.
Yeah, that's a really cool way of doing it. I didn't hear that. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, which just made it fun. And the other thing that we tried to do is, we have a lot of families, husband and wife that were, and with kids that were down there. So, our goal was not to pick people in the same family, because, as we build this community, we want people to meet other people as well. So, if you're only just playing these games or doing these things with your friends, you're not getting to interact with the rest of the community. And that was our goal is, hey, try not to pick people that know each other. Try not to pick people that are in the same family. Now, that doesn't always work, but that was our goal as well.
Yeah, very smart, very smart. So what was your favorite event, or what was one that you felt like your team did well at?
So I would say it was, oh man, what was it? It was the catapult chicken, where we had to, you had these like elastic bands. And I don't remember the name of it. I think it was catapult chicken, but you had these elastic bands that two people would hold, and you had these rubber chickens that you would launch, I don't know, 30 yards, and one of your teammate would have to catch it. So, I mean, everybody gets competitive with doing it. I'm out there diving in the sand. Like my knees are all scraped up. My calves are all scraped up from diving in the sand to catch this, because the thing is to win. So that was probably my favorite. The second favorite, and I think, it's not one that everybody did, but it was the tricycle race. I'm sure everybody saw Revenge of the Nerds when they had to chug a beer and drive around in a circle and then chug another beer. Well, we kind of took a page out of that book where we bought 16-inch bicycles that had training wheels. So, and there was only 2 people per team that would do it. But, you started where we did it at the Harbor Resort, Charleston Harbor Resort and Marina. There was a dock that goes in the middle of the inlet or the harbor. And so you had to chug a beer, get on the bike, drive, I don't know, 50 yards, turn the bike around, chug another beer and ride back, and then hand off to your teammate. I mean, that was just really fun to watch, because I think everybody, like the people that were doing it, was ear to ear smiles, and everybody that was watching was just cheering everybody on.
Yeah. Yeah, that was one of the videos I saw, and you could tell people were just cracking up. So is there we have the Legend auction is underway. Where everyone's looking forward now to Battle Birds coming out. Is there anything that you're really excited about coming up in the future?
Wow, that's such a hard question to answer without giving away.
Yeah, don't give anything away that you can't. But
believe me, because then you'd be hearing
Rumpus.
Rumpus.
Absolutely, give something away. And by the way,
give us something. Give us something. You did it for the Zar, man.
On something, he gives something away. So
always
don't let him fool you. That man is constantly dropping alpha.
He is, and I give him a lot of credit, but that's something he's very, very good at, and how he slides it in. But if I were going to say something I'm looking forward to, I think it's everything. I really love the in real life events, and what we're doing is starting to plan in real life events for next year. These are the major events, kind of like the Wood Quack, the NFT NYC, the Quokka Cup, stuff like that, or even the Kids Carnival. We're always going to do the smaller in real life local events like Quokka Labs, aka Miles Technologies, but it's really starting to plan and take what we learned from this year's events and apply them to next year's events. Because, the cool thing about the community is we constantly get feedback. Now, I love good feedback, but I love bad feedback too, because that makes the next ones better. So I would say, to answer this question, yes, all the legends, not even, this is the second drop, and the third, the fourth, the rest of it, the Battle Birds, all of that stuff, and to see how it comes together. But I would say one thing that I'm really looking forward to it, and Dante, when I jumped on, I think you were alluding to this, is, the other ideas. It's the one-offs that are coming from what we as a community have done. I mean, look, I'm sitting on a podcast right now with you guys that didn't exist before this. You talk about Ocho and his team at OQ Magazine, that I'm not saying it's all because of us, but it was a leapfrog because of us. This is the stuff that, and I get the chills talking about it, truthfully, but this is the stuff that all the founders that hope for, is to give people a platform to take what we started and build on it. So I think what truly excites me is to see what's next from other people.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I remember having that conversation with you about OQ Magazine at the last Quokka Labs event, and you could see, just how genuinely excited you were for that project to come out, and how you like, we're just so happy that there was someone doing something like that. So yeah, we just keep.
Yeah, sorry. I was gonna say, I had a conversation. I remember when Ocha started putting out just the magazine covers and stuff like that. And we started talking about, he was telling me, hey, where the direction is in this. And again, it was just, I'm like, it's just awesome. I mean, even, you look at Bizzle and what the name that he's created for himself on Spaces. It's a cool thing to see.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Positive Q. Any questions for our guest?
No, I am good. I've met and talked to Rump a few times. I very enjoyed getting to know him over the years. I think that was a great interview. The only question I'll go with, I know you're about to ask next, is I'll let you say it, but it's all about the legends.
No, go ahead. You can take it.
All right, this is something we ask every guest on the show. If you were able to pick a legend of anybody throughout history, who would be the legend you would make?
Oh, wow. You mean anybody, you mean something that has, there's something that we've already made and that I would want to get a hold of, or something?
No. If you said, okay, like this is the legend I want made for my collection.
That's a hard question to answer, because a lot of the founders have given input on legends that have been made already. So now I got to come up with something completely different.
You've got 10 seconds. Move.
10 seconds. Look, I'm a history buff and I'm a sports buff. So if we go back in time, like with the history, whether it's presidents or founding fathers, someone that has done something in life and made a mark, I think that would be cool. And I always love the good athletes, like the Harper one that came out. So I'm going to go to one of those two. I'm not going to name one, but I'm just going to name two topics where the great historical people and then the great athletes.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah. Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, we're actually very proud here at the ZarCast because our first guest of all time, Ghost of Tsushima, he said he would love to see Muhammad Ali.
Yeah.
And he got Muhammad Ali. And I think maybe episode 4 with Hodaldor, might have been 4 or 5. He wanted ZZ Top. He said he would love for them to make ZZ Top, and he got ZZ Top. So that's pretty cool. I don't think there was anyone else on that list yet, right, gentlemen?
Yeah, and so we're not positive who's listening, but apparently someone is.
Exactly.
There are people that are listening, I can promise you.
Yes.
All right. Well, Dee, did you have any questions?
Well, no. You know what? I just want to officially, Professor Rumpus, I want to officially on the ZarCast let you off the hook with the dinner or lunch that you owe me. You're off the hook, man. And funny story for our audience that doesn't know, our listeners. So when I first got into Tribe Quokka, the first person I talked to was Rumpus. And I was just this annoying dude that nobody knew on Discord I was trying to convince him to let me mint more Quokkas. This was like pre-mint before the project launched. But, quick story about that. Like I was in crypto for a long time, and I heard of NFTs. I looked at NFTs going up, and I just never got into it. So like being in crypto for years and then never doing NFTs, I had a chip on my shoulder that, man, I got to get in it, And then finally I come across, a video of Dick Doofus, and one of my friends knows the founder personally, and they start telling me about them. And I'm like, man, these are people that I can, I can get behind and trust and feel good about my investment. Cause I didn't feel good about investing in NFTs yet. I didn't understand it well enough. But anyway, I would shoot them messages on Discord like, hey, I would like to mint 100 Quokkas. How can we do this? And there was a limit to it. But anyway, I had invited Rumpus to eat. And then I ended up actually going out, this is another thing, dude, that I love about our founders. You guys are so personable and there for the community. And you guys didn't know who I was or not. And not that matters. I'm not, I'm not anyone that's famous or anything, but a complete stranger writes to you on Discord, man. And Dick Doofus actually sat down with me and my buddy John, and we had a great meal at Cafe Lamberti's and talked, NFTs, and that's when I really got pumped. But anyway, I had invited Rumpus, and we never were able to get to it. And every time I see him, he's like, "Oh, you apologize, dude," and I appreciate that. But bro, I know you're busy, and you got a ton of things to do. So yeah, you're off the hook.
Wait. I'm gonna comment on this. So first off, don't let me off the hook. I promised you that we will do lunch or dinner, and I hold up to all my promises. You have my word. This comes the time. So don't let me off the hook, man. I mean, look, I've met you a handful of times, all your crew. I love hanging out with all you guys. I mean, everybody here. It's been a fantastic journey.
Absolutely. Now, same, man. I really, dude, I'm bummed out I wasn't able to get to South Carolina. But yeah, like I've really come to like treasure the Tribe Quokka events, because we get to see people that we usually don't see. And it's like this thing, you know, where we at the tribe, and, you know, new collections, and like, you know, you're talking to people you've talked through the internet, but you really don't know them. So it's like funny. I never like picture someone in my mind when I talk to them on Discord, and then see it, like I'm always wrong of what they look like. Like they're totally opposite of what I pictured. So it's like very interesting to me. But like, yeah, it already starts feeling like family. You know, we've been to like 5 events, and, you know, you guys honestly, like you guys go all out, man, with the drinks and the food, and just the camaraderie, man, and just being there to talk to people. And that's something that's real special about Tribe Quokka. So yeah, I guess I'd say just thank you, you know, for everything you guys do.
Well, I appreciate that, but truthfully, the thanks goes to everybody out there. You know, you believe in this, you believe in our mission, you believe in our goals, and without you, we wouldn't exist. So, you know, the thanks goes back to you guys. Trust me, we all know that. With all the founders, we know how valuable all of you guys are and what you bring to the table, and we do everything for the community.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to echo those sentiments from D22, so accessible, every single one of the founders. If you reach out to them, they're gonna reply, and they're gonna do what they can to help. So it's really it's a very special feature of Tribe Quokka for sure.
Right on.
Yep. Well, any last words from you, Professor Rumpus, before we let you go?
Yeah, first off, I just wanted to thank you. I like I said, it's an honor to be invited to this ZarCast. So I just want to say thanks. You know, keep up the work that you guys are doing. I'm always here for anybody. You know, so just reach out if you need something, and thanks again. And you know, I look forward to seeing everybody at the next In Real Life event or around town, whichever comes first.
Yeah, absolutely. No, the honor was all ours for sure. You know, and if it ever gets a little too heated in those in the founders meetings, you know, you got the 3 of us here. We got your back, buddy.
I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that.
All right. Well, that will.
Thank you very much, Kurt.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Absolutely, guys. You guys have a great evening, and I cannot wait to hear the replay of this.
All right, go.
Yes, sir.
Take care.
Thank you. All right, everybody. That brings a close to episode 11 of the ZarCast. We hope to talk to you all soon and see you at the next In Real Life event. And good luck with your Legends bids. By the time we come back again, we'll probably know where some of those have landed. So that will be exciting. So good luck to everyone, and have a good night. Gentlemen, thanks again.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good one.
All right, have a good one, guys.